New video. We're getting the Super 2100 or 2100 Super back together. I've got the on-off switch, trigger lock, trigger throttle rod there. I was about ready to put on the compression release wire when I noticed that these two screws, one of them different size, one of them stripped, two different nuts. So I'll have to find a couple of those, replace it. I'm not putting this back on original. Ready to put the air box and handle back on. Got all new gaskets. After that, we'll be putting the carb on the top. And after that, the clutch, the flywheel, the muffler, fuel tank, muffler cover, starter, clutch cover, cylinder cover, and handle. That'll all go pretty quick. If anybody's taken one of these handles completely apart, these little rubber grommets here, if you'll put them in a bowl with water and microwave them until they boil, they're just easy to get on with a little small screwdriver. They're almost impossible to get on without scratching the paint if you don't get them hot, or even hot and oily. But I got them nice and hot. So, it won't be long before this is back. This was a good running saw. So they just done a pretty poor restoration when they did it. This whole thing was painted red, and they'd painted a bunch of the stuff inside red. I took red paint off of the on-off switch and the manual oiler button and the choke button and the throttle lock and everything else had red paint all over it. They hosed it down. They didn't clean it very well either. It was missing a spring inside here. There's a ball bearing, a spring, a check valve, then a ball bearing inside the check valve, and then another spring. One of those springs was missing. And I lost the ball bearing, I thought I did, but I looked around and it was up there behind that fuel cap, and I saw it finally, so I got that all put back together. I had to drill out these holes on the oil reserve tank. Let me see if I don't have that old one over here now, but I had to drill them out quite a bit to get these screws back in them. They were probably 632, and they didn't go in easy with 832. And I stuck a flashlight in here. I put some sealant on the gasket, and I stuck a flashlight inside this hole, my little Nebo. Took it outside in the dark, and I could see daylight all around there, so I took it out and drilled it a little deeper, because those are supposed to be like self-tapping screws, but they wouldn't go through that magnesium I couldn't get them go, so I drilled them, and then I checked it with a flashlight again, and I don't see any daylight here, and I blew in it. Only place air's coming out is the oiler hole where it's supposed to, which is, I'll check it again, but I think we're good. Say I put sealant on both sides of that gasket. That's a real problem there. When I took this apart, you could wobble this. It was loose. It wasn't on good on the old, so I ordered a whole new reservoir and screws. So that if you ever have to put a new one of those on, you really do have to drill out those holes quite a bit to get those new screws to fit in there and fit tight and drill them deep enough. So I was missing one of these tab locks on one of them, and also the nut was the wrong size. It was the right size inside, but the outside was bigger and not right. So I ordered some more of them. It was just oversized, the outside edge, so I wanted to put the right one on there. So I got those all on and locked in. I put a dab of oil down on the bearings inside there. So I've got a lot of little screws to clean up and put back together. Going to put a new fuel hose on it, a new fuel filter on the inside. So I think we're coming along on it. It's, I think, a couple more days, and I still need to get my decals, so I haven't got those yet. And I need to paint my cover here, and the oil fill hole. I need to paint it, that cap, and that's probably all the painting I have left to do. So we'll be in pretty good shape after that. So it's been a little bit of a process, but not too bad. I did have to make this piece right here. There's a two-piece where the latch goes in for the compression release. It was missing, didn't have it. So I cut a piece off of a old first aid box right here. This was where it hung up. The first aid box hung on the wall. So I cut a piece off of it and whittled it down and drilled it on here and bent it up to where it'd be the secondary piece on this latch for the compression release knob. So we're in pretty good shape there. I gotta finish getting this XL400 electrical issue. I ordered some new points, and I guess I'll get another brand new coil and put that all back together and get it running, put it back on the shelf, and then start on this XL800, and it's a good runner. So that'll be the next one in the queue. And I had Josh Thornton send me a XL67, which is a special XL12 built by Terry in Canada. I've been looking for one of those, and has a roller nose bar on it. So I'm excited about getting another Terry saw. Guess that's it for now.